You have the bipartisan support to ban TikTok, not do some half-baked bill that's going to give Democrats more power to mess around with other people's rights, but to ban TikTok outright. Do you believe that's going to ultimately pass in that form?
Yeah, if you watch what I've said, yes, it will. And we've already had the hearing to start the process and the legislative process to make that happen. You know, we've been in office less than 100 days, but watch what we've been already able to accomplish and bring forth. Give us a little time as we move forward with this. It's never as fast as you like, but I'll tell you, our actions is going well. I know you're impatient. I know, but the one thing we do is we play by the rules and we bring it forward just as the way it's able to accomplish.
All right, Mr. Speaker, voter enthusiasm, it's obviously very important going into this election cycle. So even though Republicans did take the House, last year's midterms were considered by a lot of people to be underwhelming, particularly considering what's happened since Biden took office to our economy. This Wisconsin Supreme Court election was a big loss this week. In fact, the map shows it further moving to the left since 2020, the state of Wisconsin. Is that concerning? And what is the GOP doing to counter what is a very aggressive move by the Democrats to brand the Republican Party as anti-democracy, anti-women, et cetera?
You know, this is very scary from a number of positions, because here they were campaigning for a position of a state Supreme Court, actually using politics, claiming not based upon what cases come before you, but actually predetermining it, talking about redistricting, talking about women's rights going forward, instead of looking at a case by case and saying, I'm going to uphold the Constitution. We've watched money come from around the nation into this campaign. You know what? We didn't sit back in the House. We actually participated in this as well. Republicans have to understand, when we won the White House, we won Wisconsin. So if you lose it, it's hard to win the White House back. You talk about winning the House. Yes, we're the only Republican entity that has won the last 2 cycles in a row. We wish to have won by a larger margin, but the one thing I will tell you is they don't give gavels out in small, medium, and large. We get the exact same gavel, and we're using it based upon the Constitution each and every day. And we'll stand up to these atrocities wherever we see it.
I know you have to go, but one more question. Are you confident that with ballot harvesting and the push for earlier and earlier voting, all these election ballots that are being mailed out, applications for ballots, are you confident that the RNC and the political process for the Republicans is going to be effective in countering that and signing up people to vote and getting them to the polls?
Well, we better do it right. I'll tell you, in California, we have the worst election law where they mail everybody a ballot and it's illegal to harvest. But in that last 2 election cycles, Republicans have only won. We've taken 6 seats from the Democrats in Congress. So in other states, they've changed the election law. Remember what they did in Georgia, where the baseball actually left the All-Star game, but we had more people participate. What we need to be able to have happen, we need to make sure in America, you have to show an ID to vote. We should need to clean up our rolls. Because in L.A., you have about 1.2 million people on the rolls who are not even old enough in the process, enough people there to be in that. We need to make sure that we have elections that are fair and honest, that people can vote, but we can make sure that the elections are honest as they go forward. So we have to be cognizant in this. But the one thing Republicans have to understand, we've got to stop this idea that we're only going to vote on Election Day. If your state allows early voting, you need to vote early, follow your ballots as they go through, and you can trace them. And that's something that we have to wake up as a party and not lose these elections, but win them for the sake of the nation and the sake of our Constitution.
And, Mr. Speaker, the #1 issue for the voters, do you think will be the economy, like as it was with Reagan in 1980?
It is the economy. If you watch what we did on the House floor, what we made our #1 bill, our H.R. 1, it's about the economy, lowering the price of energy for all Americans. It not only lowers the price in America, it lowers inflation. It lets people keep more of what they earn. And if you're caring about the environment, it'll lower global emissions. If you took Russian natural gas away for 1 year in Europe, you would lower CO2 emissions by 218 million tons, because American natural gas is cleaner. It also creates America to be stronger, the world to be safer, and the economy to be stronger in America. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. You know what the Democrats' #1 bill was when they were in the majority? To change election law to worry about themselves. We care about Americans, and we're bringing the issue back to the economy.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and yes, California have to make even more progress there. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, and fantastic meeting today.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.